Hey CJ, how's it going?
Good.
All right, so I'm here with my buddy CJ, and this is Peter. This is another one of my inspirational interview series. And the main reason I wanted to talk to CJ today was he sent me a video that he just posted on YouTube about a hike that you did. It was Hell Roaring Plateau?
Yeah.
And tell me a little bit about that.
I think it's the largest high elevation plateau in the country.
Okay.
I started climbing up there maybe 4 years ago.
Okay.
First time I tried to go up there, I failed miserably and slid several hundred feet down the side of the mountain. But
slid several hundred feet down the side. Oh, I didn't know that.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So it took me a couple years, but finally I was able to get up to the top of the mountain, and I always take my kids up there. And a few weeks ago, I was asking them, I said, hey, think you can make it to the top of there?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah. All right. I'll give you $100 if you can make it to the top. And I didn't think they were going to make it at all, but I stayed behind them, and they made it to the top. I was impressed. First time they ever tried, they made it up there.
And why do you do that? I mean, well, first of all, how long did it take you?
It took about 10 and a half hours.
And it's how many miles total to get to the top from where you started?
Oh, probably only 2.5 miles.
To the top and back, or just 2.5 miles to the top?
Yeah, going to the top is maybe 2.5 miles.
And it took you about 10 hours to get to the top?
It took me about 8 hours to get to the top, and then 2 hours to get back down.
Okay. And part of the reason that this inspires me is because it's not an easy thing, and it's people ask me, well, why a marathon? You could run a 5K and feel good about that, or whatever. I mean, training for the marathon, I lost a bunch of weight, but why do this 26.2 miles? And so I find this kind of a thing inspiring because I first saw the video and thought, I don't know that I'd want to do that, but then I like the idea of the challenge of it. So why do you think that you do it?
It's because it's hard. It's because it's a struggle.
Yeah.
You go up there and you do something that seems impossible, and it sucks. Your heart rate is racing the whole entire time. You'll probably burn 5,000-6,000 calories, and I mean it'll kick your ass. But you get off that mountain, everything else kind of doesn't seem that much big of a deal. Your boss is being an asshole to you, or you think that you're never going to achieve your goals or whatever. You just reflect on the last week. You're like, wow, I climbed up this mountain, and all these little piddly little problems that I'm freaking out about are kind of insignificant. Yeah.
And what got you started in doing this this kind of thing?
I was training for a baton death march, and somebody got me into snowshoeing as a method of training for it. Okay,
what's baton death march?
It's a commemorative marathon they do every year at the White Sands Missile Range to commemorate all the people that lost their lives in the real baton death march. It was it's a desert in the Philippines where all these soldiers were they had all their gear, like 60 pounds of gear on their back, and they marched for a good 50 miles, and not very many of them survived. And a lot of people that did survive were in an unmarked ship, and they were killed by their own people.
Wow.
Because it wasn't marked as a POW transport ship. Okay. So wow, that's what that's all about.
So you were training for that, and then you kind of just got into this sort of kill your body to to get over the little problems kind of thing, or?
Right. Yeah. It's because when you do that marathon, you have to carry a 35-pound rucksack on your back.
Okay.
So it's slow. And it's hard to do.
Yeah.
And snowshoeing is a lot like that.
Yeah.
You'll take a step, and you'll have to breathe 4 to 8 breaths per step.
And what would you say to somebody who maybe wants to accomplish something in their life, whether it be climb a mountain or something else that's worthwhile to them?
Just keep on trying until you get it done. I mean, if you have a dream, there's no reason for you not to follow your dreams. I mean, that's what you're here for.
Yeah.
You got something you want to do in your life, then take advantage of it, because you're not going to be around forever.
And how do you get past those when you do, like, you said the first time up you didn't make it, how do you sort of get past that not being able to make it, or when you do hit a wall?
A lot of times I remember the movie G.I. Jane.
Yeah.
He's reading this poem, talks about animals. He never seen an animal feel sorry for itself, and I see that a lot when I'm up in the mountains. I'll be like, oh man, it's cold and this sucks. But there's animals living up there year round.
Yeah. You
don't hear them crying.
Yeah.
They're not bitching about it. They just they live their lives.
Yeah.
They do whatever it takes, and I think that's what successful people do. They decide that there's a goal that they want to achieve, and they just do it. And if it takes you 10 years to get it done, great.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's 10 years worth of excitement in your life, and a lot of times the outcome of the goal is not nearly as important as the journey.
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself. Well, all right. Well, one of the other things that really inspires me about what CJ has done and continues to do is that he took his kids up this mountain and is teaching his kids these kind of lessons that, to persevere, to climb a mountain like that. And how old are your kids?
11 and 13.
11 and 13. So I find that pretty amazing. So what's the next big mountain or hike or thing that you're going to do?
I don't know. There's a mountain outside of Salem, Oregon. I decided that I wanna sleep up there. It's about the same elevation as Hell Roaring Plateau, but you start at I think 5,000 feet, so it'll be extra 1,000-foot climb. And over there in that part of the country, I think they get a lot more snow.
Okay.
So I'll be dealing with other things, heavier, wet snow, probably a little bit more avalanche dangers.
Cool. And anything else you would say to anybody out there that's just maybe struggling, trying to reach a goal, or wants to do something different with their life?
Struggle's always good for you. It's what makes you stronger.
All right. Good stuff. Okay, so this has been another inspirational interview with CJ Ranne, and we'll see you next week.